Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Black, and this is Arrive Alive in 2025, episode 3. I think I titled this Who Am I? Maybe. I can't remember. Anyhow, join me with some chai today. I'm on my second cup every day. Uh, this one's going to be probably more of a short video with a lot of questions and not a lot of answers, but just more contemplation. One of the hashtags I put in the description is how do you identify? I know that that's really a big thing right now, but it's not maybe what you think it is in this video. Um, Being someone who just missed I just missed by this much the boomers generation, but I kind of still identify with the boomers because my parents were from, the Depression, World War II era. I grew up with older siblings, and so that's where I got a lot of my tastes for music and clothes and just beliefs, morals, society, etc. So I still kind of identify with the boomer generation. But I was thinking this. I saw a post that someone shared today, and it was just a really short clip of someone saying that essentially all of the struggles and things that you have been through have been ordained by God to prepare you for who you are to become, or who you are, or who He wants you to be. And that got me thinking. I was like, okay, I am 58 and a half years old, and I still have that struggle in my brain as to who am I? What am I supposed to do with my life? And I keep thinking, wait a minute. I mean, am I still thinking that I haven't done anything with my life, or have the last 35 plus years of my adult life just been kind of me muddling through trying to figure it out? And I think that there's some truth to that, maybe for a lot of people. I mean, we just do. We just kind of muddle through life, and you think at that moment that you are doing what you're supposed to do. And then that changes as you move into different phases of life. But I think I was going down a list in my head of all of the things that I have identified as in my life and that I still identify as. So I went down the list: daughter, granddaughter, niece, aunt, sister, mother, grandmother, wife, daughter in law, mother in law, best friend, maybe ex something, ex best friend, ex whatever, um, teacher, musician, pianist, singer, partner, helper, Christian. I mean, there's just the list just goes on and on and on. And when you think about how many of those things exist, do any of those things contradict each other? Not really. But I think for me, the biggest struggle was trying to figure out the balance between all of those identities. I mean, you literally are juggling those things, and sometimes many of them at once, especially when you have children, young children, children in the house, you're married and you're working. So you're a wife, a mom, and an employee, a teacher. And for me, I was a music teacher. And so um, you then take on even more roles when you are a teacher, because you now become mentor, caregiver, disciplinarian, and parent, etc., to a whole bunch more people, little people. And it's stressful, and it's taxing. And I see a lot of stuff um, in online social media. And I mean, I really love board teachers. No, they're not a sponsor yet, because anyhow, um, and they're especially um, Jerry, Gary Brooks in Lexington. I mean, he was the first person that introduced me into all of that, the humor in teaching. But when you look at the comedians now that have come out of that, the teacher comedians, and they talk about the struggles real about being a teacher, and it's stressful. And I just wrote a letter the other day to my colleagues, and I just said, if you really feel like you are struggling or you need help, don't wait, because being a teacher is really challenging, stressful, difficult, and it's only getting worse. I don't know what's going on with our society, but I mean, okay, that's a whole soapbox I could get on. So let me just kind of rein it back in. So what I was saying is that you're juggling all of these identities, and for me, when my kids were little, I was really, I really struggled a lot. I wanted to work. I wanted the challenges. I wanted to be independent. I mean, I was married. I didn't want to be independent for my family, but I always had that sense of needing to support myself and be independent and work and have a job and a career and a purpose, that purpose. Then I became a mom, and I was like, wait a minute. I want to be at home with my kids. I want to teach them, and I want to be involved in their lives, and I want to really influence them in a positive way. And I wanted to be that. We're going back to the baby boomer nuclear family stereotype. I wanted to be, like the stay at home mom who cleaned the house and planned the meals and cooked. Uh, which I can't. I still can't cook. I don't know why. Probably because my mother never let me in the kitchen. Um, but I had such a strong desire for that. I don't know where the desire came from. A lot of people would call it maternal instinct. Maybe that's what it was. Um, but I, s- I never could balance that. And I couldn't balance it in my head, in my brain. I couldn't, I just constantly struggled with that all the way up until my children were grown. And then I'm still working, I'm still teaching, and then I have grandchildren that come along. And, we lived overseas. We were far away, but and they were little, so they didn't quite know us that well. But every chance that we had, we were always there visiting and spending lots and lots and lots of time with them. But as they got older, I was like, oh, I gotta be near my grandkids. And so we went back to the States, and we were there for 4 years. And during those 4 years, it was bliss, as far as those relationships with my grandkids. I got to be there on snow days and sick days and Halloween and birthdays and Christmas and Thanksgiving, and it it was so meaningful to me. And I didn't. There was a bit of a guilt there, because I was like, am I giving them more than I did, more than I gave to my own kids? And maybe that's where that whole concept of, being a grandparent, you get, some people say, oh, it's your chance to do everything right that you didn't do right with your own kids, which could be the case. And you have more wisdom and more life experience. So I feel like that was a great time. And then we moved away again. And so we've been missing out on those experiences. And it's been pretty depressing for me to not be near my grandkids and my kids, because now they're adult children, and trying to develop relationships with your children who are now adults, I mean, I got to be honest with you. You got to start all over again. I I don't I don't know where I got this preconceived notion that it's got to be movies and TV, that everything's hunky dory and everybody, there's no family drama, and everybody just kind of slides into that adult relationship with your kids, and it's perfect. It's just like, I'm sorry, that's not realistic. um you know you your children are like an extension of yourself, and I've often, well, okay, full disclosure here, control freak, people pleaser. I'm talking about myself here. Problem solver, needing to fix it, and a fixer. I got to fix everything. I got to fix everybody. Not, not the way that you should be. Those are all the things you shouldn't be in your life. Uh, so, trying to raise children when they're little, needing to guide them and keep them safe in the best way that you know how. When they become adults, it's not up to you to fix everything anymore. And I didn't get that. And I continued to do that and insert myself into their problems, their lives, their situations, thinking that I had all the answers and I was right. And so, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I do a lot of, what do we call that? Little bird walks, getting off topic. Um, but back to the whole thing about having adult kids and needing to be near them to continue to build on those relationships. So here I am now. I'm a mother, new identity, mother of adult children. Okay, well, my kids are in their like 30s, but I'm just now getting this. So uh, I I don't know. I have a lot of questions. How do I identify with all of these different things, balance it, and still remain sane? uh, so, like I said, there was going to be more questions than there were answers in this episode, but I would love to hear anybody's insights or experiences into any of those things, like balancing work and family. Struggles are real. Being a teacher, and those struggles are real because you're now, anyhow, I won't go there. We'll save that one for another episode. Being a grandparent, living far away from your family. I have all of these identities, and sometimes I'm wondering, how how do humans, how do we do it? How do we balance all of these things and stay sane? Because it's torn me apart. It's heartbreaking, and to not feel like you, okay, here's the C word again, have control of all of these aspects of your life, your personality, and who and what you identify as, and be able to balance that. Balance being a parent, balance being a friend, balance being a colleague, being a teacher, being an employee, being a wife, being a sister, a mother, a daughter-in-law, a grandparent. It's sometimes, when I start thinking about it, my mind just starts exploding. And I know we're supposed to just take it one day at a time, and that's really what I'm trying to do right now. But I would be curious to know how other people balance all of these different aspects of yourself, these different identities that we have, and just stay sane. So here I am signing off. Episode 3. Who am I? Question mark.